A very good morning to my dear student. Hope you are fine and going well. So, in our last class, we have studied about the elasticity of supply. So, today's class, we will be studying about the determinants of elasticity of supply. So, whatever was discussed in the last class, hope you have understood it and you have gone through it as well as you have noted down in the copy. Okay, if you have not done, then do it today. So today we will be discussing about the factors which determines the elasticity of demand. What are the factors? Like we have studied in demand and theory of supply, the factors which determine demands, the factor which determine the supply. Now today we will study about the factors which determines the elasticity of supply. So let us come to the point, okay? Determinants of elasticity supply. So yeah, what are the factors which affect the elasticity of supply? Means how the supply of the product increase or decrease, changes. Okay, elastic means changes, inelastic means a slight change, not that much change. Okay, so let us come to the point. Okay, so point number one, okay, behavior of cost of production. I'm writing the short form COP, cost of production. Okay. So behavior of cost of production. The cost of production also depends. Okay. The cost of production also depends. If the cost of production is too high, okay, while producing the goods only it becomes too high, then the manufacturer, of course, the MRP for the product will be too high in the market. Okay, in that case, the people will be attracted towards the goods. Of course not. So people won't be attracted towards the goods. Okay, if the cost of production is very high, okay, then the supply for the product will be inelastic. Okay, inelastic. And if the cost of production for the commodity will be less, then what will happen? Then the supply for the product will be elastic. Because in the same price, okay, the producer can produce more of the commodity because the COP is becoming less. Okay, and moreover, the producer can give lots of benefit to the consumer also, to attract the consumer. Okay, to attract the consumer. So it is what? Okay, it is said as COP, behavior of COP. Okay. Next is a time factor. Okay. Time factor. Time factor. What is the time factor? Okay. The time factor. The time factor also matters much. The time factor also matters much. So supply of a commodity in the ultimate analysis depends upon its production. A price change due to change in demand for a commodity may have a small response in the quantity supply short run. Here, time factor. So what you understand it? Time factor, it is in short run and long run. Okay, short run and long run. Short run means for a short period of time. See here, during the short period of time, the price of the product, okay, cannot be changed. Okay, during the short run. Therefore, in the short run, supply tends to be relatively inelastic. In the short run, okay, you cannot make a sudden change in the short run. You cannot make a sudden change in the short run. Therefore, what happens in the short run, the elasticity of supply will be relatively inelastic. It will be inelastic. Okay, relatively inelastic. But in the long run, you can make out some changes because you have lots of time to make the changes. You can make some changes or many changes you can make. You can see the benefit of your as well as the consumer also. Okay, by seeing the benefits and all, okay, according to the given situation, you can make some changes. So in the long run, okay, you can make the changes. So in the long run, the supply elasticity is relatively elastic. Okay, next is your nature of the commodity. Okay, nature of the commodity. Point number 3. So, what kind of goods you are purchasing? The goods which are consumed one time, or the goods which are using more than once. Okay, the goods which are used more than once are called as your durable goods, and the goods which are using just one time, that is called perishable goods. Okay, they are called perishable goods. Okay, the goods which are used only once, they are called perishable goods, and the goods which you use more than once, they are called as durable goods. Or whether you are purchasing the consumer goods or whether you are purchasing the capital goods, it depends. Okay, so the demand for the durable goods will be relatively elastic, as well as the demand. Okay, so supply for the durable goods will be relatively elastic, whereas the supply for the perishable goods, means one time use, it will be relatively inelastic because it will not last long, just for one single use. Okay, like fruits and vegetables, and so on. Okay, you are using just once. After using once, you cannot repeat that process with same food because it is already exhausted. It is already over. Okay, same food you can't get. Okay, but when you are purchasing durable goods, okay, you can use again and again. Okay, like a mixer grinder, like the utensils. Once you are eating on the same plate, you are not going to throw that plate. Again, you are going to wash the plate and you are going to eat on the same plate. That is, they are called durable goods. A refrigerator, a furniture. Okay, so if you are keeping for long years, it will remain there only. But fruits, vegetables, and all, you can't keep for many days. What will happen? It will get rotten. So the supply for the durable goods, it will be relatively elastic, and the supply for the perishable goods, okay, it will be relatively inelastic in nature. Okay, means you can say less elastic. Okay, next is a flexibility. flexibility of outputs or inputs. So first we will study about flexibility, okay, of inputs. Flexibility of inputs. Inputs means the raw materials used. Input here means the raw material which are used in the process of the production. Okay, if the raw materials are easily available, okay, if the raw materials, input means the raw material which is used in the production. If the raw materials are easily available, okay, within the current surrounding area where the industry is located, then what will happen? The COP, the cost of production, will decrease, and the supply will be relatively elastic, more elastic, because the COP, the cost of production, has decreased because raw materials are available easily, as well as in the current surrounding only the transportation charge is also, okay, it is saved, or it become very less. If it is brought from nearby area, then the cost of production will be less. So because of that, the elasticity of supply will be relatively, okay, elastic, okay, relatively elastic. So flexibility of outputs. But if the raw materials, okay, are not available easily, if the raw materials you won't get easily, then what will happen? Then you have to go faraway places. Going faraway places means it will fetch more transportation cost, and if more transportation cost means the COP will be more. COP will be more. If COP will be more, then what will happen? The supply, the price MRP will be more, means the supply will decrease, okay, because see, amount is that much only. You have budget in a hand, that much only. With that much budget only you have to do expenditure. If you have the budget of 1 lakh, with 1 lakh only you have to do all the expenditure. So going far away places and all, okay, transportation charges and all, the cost may vary, okay, because, and you are utilizing the money there only, so you need for production also. So with that same amount, okay, you are producing less. But COP stands for cost of production. If the cost of production is less, okay, if the cost of production is decreased, if the cost of production is decreased, then the elasticity of supply will be relatively inelastic in nature. Okay, if the elasticity of supply, okay, is relatively inelastic in nature, then the supply will be more in the market, okay, because he has used, okay, same budget but in greater amount, because he got in cheap and transportation cost has become less. But whereas where the good he has to go to far away places, then he has to give more transportation costs and all. In that case, the elasticity of supply becomes relatively inelastic. Whereas when he purchased the goods from nearby area, in that case the elasticity of supply became relatively elastic in nature, okay, because of flexibility of inputs. Next we go through the availability of facilities for expanding output. Input over now output. Availability of facilities for expanding outputs. So here, expanding the outputs. So expanding the outputs means increasing the production unit. Okay, increasing the production units. Here, point number 4, point number 5, and point number 1. They are related to each other. Okay, they are related to each other. So, how you can increase the production, means more production, if you have abundant of resources, if you have the facilities, okay, which will help in expanding your output. Yes, what kind of facilities you want? The facilities which the producer want, okay, for expanding the output is the availability of raw materials. Availability of raw materials. If the raw materials are available easily, then of course, no doubt, the production can increase. Availability of electricity. If the electricity is available, then of course, with the given energy, different machineries can be implemented. And availability of your modern technology, availability of transport system, availability of credit facilities. If the credit facilities are available, if the banks are available nearby and they can provide loan, then of course the production unit can expand, because everything need is the finance budget. If there is more budget, then there is more production. If there is less budget, then there is a less production. Okay, if the facilities are available, okay, then in that case the elasticity of supply will be, okay, more elastic. And if the facilities are not available, if the facilities are available not in, okay, abundant, then the elasticity of supply will be less elastic. Okay, less elastic. Next is your nature of inputs. Let me rub this. So, nature of inputs. So, see here, this also is interrelated. Okay, it is interrelated. See here, elasticity of supply depends on the nature of inputs, okay, used for production of a commodity. If the inputs are easily available, then its supply will be more elastic. If the inputs, whatever inputs are required by the producer in the process of production, whatever inputs are required, okay, by the producer in the process of production, if it is easily available, then what will happen? Then the elasticity of supply will be more elastic. And if the inputs are not available easily, means the producer has to run here and there, okay, and in this case, running here and there, the cost of production increases so high, okay, then in that case, okay, the elasticity of supply will be less elastic. Okay, less elastic. So the more easily additional units of inputs can be acquired, the higher will be the elasticity of supply. Okay, the more additional, okay, addition you can make in the inputs, then the more is the elasticity of supply. If you can't add more additional, okay, unit, then there will be less elasticity of supply. Okay, next, risk taking. That is a, okay, it should be within the producer. Risk taking, risk bearer. Okay, risk taking. Risk taking. An entrepreneur should be the risk bearer of the business. Okay, risk bearer. He should take the risk of the business. Boldly he should come forward and he should carry on the risk. Yes, I am taking the risk. If he has the courage of taking the risk, then of course the elasticity of supply will be more elastic, and if the producer or the supplier are running safe-handed, means not producing too much, okay, means playing a safe game, then in that case the elasticity of supply will be less elastic, okay, or relatively inelastic in nature. Okay, so it depends upon the entrepreneur. If the entrepreneur hesitate, means no, I will not take the risk, the market is not good now, I will not take the risk, in that case the supply elasticity of supply will be less elastic. And if the entrepreneur is showing the courage, whatever will happen, I will take the risk, he will come in the front, if he will take the risk, then in that case the elasticity of supply will be more okay, more elastic in nature. Okay, next, last point number 8. Okay, expectation about future prices, or you can say future expectation. About future prices. So, very interesting. If the producer thinks that in the coming future, if the price is going to go high, the price of the commodity is going to rise, then the producer will not sell too much in the market, must supply the goods in the market. Whatever goods are available, the supply will keep in the stock. Okay, because in the future expectation that in the future the price is going to rise high. So in this case the elasticity of supply will be less elastic. And if the producer or the entrepreneur thinks that knows that in the coming future the price of the commodity is going to fall, then presently the producer will release all the goods, whatever goods are available. In this case the elasticity of supply is more elastic in nature. Okay, so this is what is there in today's syllabus. Okay, so determinants of elasticity of supply. Okay, determinants of elasticity of supply. So whatever is being taught, hope you have understood, and please note it down in a copy, whatever is taught. Okay, I'll send you the snap. Okay, I'll send you the snap. Note it down in a copy, and after looking at the video, please write your names in the comment box. Okay, thank you.